Come on, you Irons! Come on! Yes!
Get it, boys!
Yes! Yes, yes, yes. Yes! Sorry, guys, but that's exactly what we needed. Exactly what we needed. We needed some goals. We needed the continuation after the last 3 games. We were nervous fans going into this before the game, coming up against Stoke, who haven't really won many and haven't been performing that well. And we have come out with a victory, not just a victory, a 3-0 victory, a bit of a spanking to Stoke City. 3-0 West Ham at the Bet365 Stadium with a delayed kickoff after we didn't even know if the game was going to go ahead. But lucky enough, Stoke City, they actually paid their bills for the electricity and gas and got their lights back on. My name's Anton. I am joined by Rich over there. You can see we're very, very, very happy fans. Rich, how you doing? And what did you think of that game?
Mate, I'm buzzing. Massive results for the boys. I think it was comfortable. We needed it because, as you mentioned, the results over Chelsea and Arsenal would have meant nothing if we didn't get 3 points today. First off, we were solid. We sat back a bit after we took the lead, and that annoyed me. But I think, obviously, Arnautovic getting his goal and Saka rounding it off, it was just a perfect away day, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think all West Ham fans are buzzing at this point in time.
Listen, I mean, I'm probably a little bit lost with the whole thing. You can see on the bottom of our screen we've got a picture of Arnautovic showing the Stoke fans at his own stadium. We just had a comment there from Matt, who's also part of Irons United, saying, "Fucking buzzing, lads, no wonder, Matt, we all are." So we're going to try and get ourselves involved in this live chat tonight as well. So yeah, we are coming live to you. Hopefully my microphone situation's sorted. But to be honest, I just want to get some beers down me and celebrate tonight. So yeah, comes to the team selection. What were your thoughts? We didn't really see. We've seen one change. Obviously, we've seen Ginge come in for Winston Reid. So what were your thoughts on the team selection, Rich?
Yeah, I think Moyes had to stick with it. Both the Chelsea and Arsenal game, we saw progress. So why change something that's not broken? I think 5 at the back's really starting to suit us, and I think that seems to be the winning formula. Obviously, with Zabaleta, Ogbonna, Collins, Cresswell playing as a left centre back now, and then Masuaku, who was excellent today again. I'm loving this formation. The only change.
Afu Masuaku. Oh. He's better than Lukaku.
Aye. He never gives the ball away. Oi. Okay, enough. The only possible thing I had to comment on when it came to team selection would just be up front. I just honestly can't see. And I mean, Antonio's putting in a shift. God bless the lad. I think he's an absolute tank and he wears his heart on his sleeve every week. But I just feel like we're just missing an out-and-out centre forward. But that's my only criticism. Really, I can't really fault any of the players today. Fantastic away display. Everyone pulled their weight. In my opinion, it could have been 6 or 7 or 8. If Arnautovic took a few more of his 6 or 7 chances, he could have had a hat-trick today. And I mean, that would have given us a 5 or 6-0 win. So that just shows how comfortable we were. And I mean, Stoke, yeah, they hit the post. But other than that, they didn't really threaten him. I mean, and if they don't sort themselves out, they're going down, really. They're going down.
You have just given the review of the whole game in a winner. Done. So, that's fine. I'll give you my quick opinion on the team selection. A little bit disappointed that we didn't see Chicharito start, but again, how can we fault Antonio? The guy is literally, you've seen him in the first half, you've seen him early in the second half, he was trying to knock the ball by certain players, and he was just constantly running himself into the ground. And then for me, when he comes off, and it's perfect timing that he comes off, it's just the fact you don't want to see a midfielder playing up front. That's the only slightly negative and the only slightly disappointment as a West Ham fan, especially if you've got someone of Chicharito's experience on the bench. But I do think now, coming into the game of the week, we might start to see a little bit more of the little P. But Ginge came in. What would you think of his performance today?
Oh, he was fantastic, rock solid. You know what you're going to get from Ginge. He doesn't have a lot of pace, but he's in the air. He's second to none as a centre back. Solid as a rock, making blocks, putting his body on the line, communicating with the back line, which is so important. You need someone like Ginge just to be that leader on the field that really motivates the rest of the back line and keeps them going. And I thought he was faultless today, really. All he had, I mean, if he had scored a goal, perhaps, then I would have said, yeah, he's had a better performance. But otherwise, you can't really fault him. He's been fantastic today. The whole back line in general was solid. Zabaleta was solid. No one could get past him. Ogbonna pulled his weight. Cresswell did well at left centre back. Masuaku was excellent again. I mean, that guy, when he gets the ball, I don't know how he gets out of some of the situations he finds himself in. I mean, he can have 3 or 4 on him, and he will somehow find his way to weave in and out. Yeah, so backline faultless today. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm going to pinpoint Cresswell today because I just thought, I know we had a quick chat about it, Rich, beforehand. I just genuinely think he's been fantastic in that role, in that new position he's playing. I think he is coming back to his old best because he's getting the opportunity to play, he's getting the opportunity to defend, knowing he's got, when he's going forward, he's got the cover, and when he's defending with the ability that we know he's got, and he's just shown. I mean, he's just looking a lot more solid and comfortable, to be honest. Really, really comfortable. Yeah, Masuaku. I mean, what can we say about this guy? He's just different gravy, to be honest. King Arthur. I mean, he just gets the ball and he doesn't want to lose it. And I mean, there was a couple of chances today where he ran forward, and at one point, I think I've written it down during the game. I'm trying to find it. He gets himself out of tricky situations time and time again. He sometimes goes towards 3 or 4 opposition players and still gets the ball past them. And that's, and to be fair, that's just something we've been missing from a player we certainly didn't expect it to come from. But I suppose in the first half, you've got to consider the fact that Stoke hit the post, didn't they? Just before it literally led to our penalty appeal. So what did you think of the penalty? Was it a penalty?
Well, first of all, I thought it was a fantastic counter-attack. We haven't been doing that enough this season. And yeah, Stoke have hit the post, but the counter-attack was fantastic. In my opinion, it's not a penalty. You know, there was a bit of contact, but as everyone said, Lanzini's... I think Lanzini's already going down. That's the biggest problem I have with that shout. I think he's already going to ground. Let me put it this way. If that penalty had been given against us, I would have been fuming. But on the balance of play, that penalty means very little because we battered them for most of the game anyway. But in my opinion, I thought it was very soft. And I think Stoke fans will be annoyed at that. And I have no doubt Mark Hughes will be ranting about that. But at the end of the day, Mark, your team has been absolutely battered today. And yeah, so he can shut up, in my opinion.
And Rich, during the game, you messaged me saying that, or messaged the guy saying that Stoke were getting attacked down the left. And yeah, you could blatantly see that, like throughout the whole game. It was their weak point, and we definitely started our best to keep going down there. But then when it came to the penalty, Mr. Mark Noble, 300 appearances for Claret and Blue, and what do you think?
Mr. Dependable. Mr. Dependable. I mean, he's got a fantastic...
Rich as well. The funny thing is, this is coming from you.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you pointed that out because I've been Mark Noble's biggest critic. And for the last 3-4 games, I lay my hands up and I say, you know what, Mark, Mr. West Ham, you've been excellent. You've been a leader. You've showed us the kind of form that we loved at the Bowling Ground in the final season, and he's really worn his heart on his sleeve. Mr. Dependable, as I said, what a fantastic penalty. That's, I think, 16 penalties from his last 18 he's put away. So that's, I think, one of the best penalty records in the Premier League at this point in time. And I thought when he went off, Declan Rice was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
See, before you
so
go to
composed.
Declan Rice, though, Richard, I'm quickly going to bring you back onto Mark Noble because, I mean, for me, I think me and you have got a similar opinion of him. But the last 3 games, 4 games now, 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm genuinely struggling to fault Mark Noble at all. And even when sometimes he did pass the ball back or sideways, it was completely relevant to the way the game was going and what needed to happen. But to be honest with you, I can hold my hand up and say, if David Moyes comes in and says you work hard and you play well, you stay in the team, and that's exactly what Mark Noble deserves. So I don't know what happened with his injury. I'm not too sure what it was. Was it a hamstring? Did he get a knock?
Not sure. I think it may have been hamstring. It just went down.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. It'll be interesting to see what comes out.
But then
hopefully it's nothing too serious though. But if he is out, then Declan Rice has to start after today.
Obviously Declan Rice came on as a sub. So what was your opinion on Declan Rice?
different gravy, different gravy. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, he is, what is he? He's 18. From obviously just turned 18. I mean, that is fantastic. That is phenomenal. I'm almost 20, and I fancy myself as a footballer, and I look at him and I just think, my word, different class. Absolutely fantastic. So much composure on the ball. Doesn't panic. Looks up. Spreads the play. He plays. He's got such an experienced head on his shoulders. I mean, he plays like a 30-year-old midfielder that's been playing in the Premier League for 5-6 years.
He actually sometimes reminds me of a really young Michael Carrick. Like he's
absolutely. I was just about to say
his spatial awareness is very, very good. He does. I don't know if you clocked it a lot today as well. Like when he was running forward and he collected the ball, received the ball, he was shouting his team to come up. He was like, press forward, press forward.
Yeah.
And for a young lad to come in a team of experienced players to do that, I was at the Man City game and I witnessed him do the exact same then when he had Aguero in his back pocket, in my opinion. But yeah, sorry, one of the guys is coming on there saying that my mic is really quiet and very noisy. Yeah, we're working on the microphone, guys. So we'll definitely get that sorted. So hopefully we'll get that sorted. Hopefully by the next show. So just please stick in and try and listen clearly.
Another thing I really like with Declan Rice is he doesn't force the play. There were a couple of times today where he got the ball, he looked up, there was an option, but it wasn't the best option. So you just pull the play back, slow it down. We were in the lead, we were up, and that just shows the experience and the composure, the composed head that he has on his shoulder. He's not rushing the play. He's happy to pull it back, bring other players into the game, and I mean he doesn't pass backwards very often. When he does get the ball, he's looking to get the likes of Masuaku on the ball, Arnautovic. So yeah, I can't fault him. I think he's excellent, and he's one for the future. If he doesn't play and sign a new deal and stay at the club and become the next Mark Noble, then we've missed the boat because he is an absolute talent.
But to be honest, I really want him to play. I really do. Like
so do I. Yeah.
I think I had a chat with one of the other guys from the group recently, and we were talking about Rhys Oxford, who's just recently been started to play some games now for Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I think he had a really good performance last night as they won. And I'm thinking to myself, if these two guys are potentially coming through the ranks and are actually performing at the top level, this could be our future partnership in the central defence. And I'll tell you something, it's what I've been crying out for such a long time, and if I could see into the future, I would be very happy if I knew that someone like Declan Rice and Rhys Oxford were in the ranks to get that partnership. So
yeah, I mean, what a partnership that would be in the next few years. That would be fantastic.
Listen,
and for once, we'd actually see our youth elevated. Yeah, go for it.
And we are West Ham, and we do get carried away. But you know what? Once in a blue moon, we're allowed to get carried away. So this is what we're going to do. This is going to be Let's Get Carried Away YouTube video. Why not? So Declan Rice, like you said, Rich, one of my standout players today, came on and he absolutely dominated. So we're moving into the game, and Arnautovic, with his chances, he started to have a few chances in the first half. Confidence is high.
Yeah, certainly. I think honestly, he really should have buried more of the chances he had today. I'm being critical, yeah, but he literally could have had a hat trick. He could have had 4 if he was a bit more clinical with his chances. But again, as you mentioned, confidence will come. He's scored against Chelsea now. He's backed it up with a goal against Stoke. So I mean, his confidence will be going through the roof. The fans are loving him at this present point in time. So he can only go upwards from here. And I think we're finally starting to see why we've spent £25 million on him. And may he continue to perform in the way he has, because he's putting in shifts. He really is. And a few times the final goal is just lacking, but it will come. It will come with time, and he's getting more and more confidence. So he can only get better.
I think we were counting how many chances he had in the game. It was something like 5 or 6 really good chances. A couple of them were very difficult, but there was one in particular. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper. The ball came through and found its way through. Stoke were, I mean, the defenders of Stoke, and we all know about Stoke City, and we all know about Ryan Shawcross. Because today I thought Ryan Shawcross was very lucky not to get sent off with a few of his dirty tackles he was doing.
Yeah.
And there was a defender, I think he'd already had a yellow card and it came into the second half.
Yeah.
And he made another.
Kevin Vimmer, yeah.
Was it when he took Antonio out on the wing? And
So
yeah, and I was just thinking, right, they're getting away with that.
Yeah, I mean, he could have maybe. I think it was a bit soft, the Antonio challenge. But, you know, I don't feel as though the ref had control of that game. From the minute we got that penalty, I felt like the ref was almost trying to give Stoke a decision to even it out. He almost knew that he messed it up, and he just didn't have control of the game at all. Wimmer could have easily walked. Mark Hughes was losing his shit on the sidelines. But you know what? This result could have happened to a bigger, as I said earlier, to a bigger tosser. I can't stand Mark Hughes. I think he's an absolute idiot. So that's a big win for us. And more importantly, it's a win against a team in and around us. We've got to be winning games against teams in and around us if we're going to get up the league. So massive, massive plus.
Some comments coming through on the live YouTube, which is people saying that, do you think we should have been more ruthless as a team? And I personally do agree, yeah, I think we should have been, because in the first half it could have gone anyway, because the next point I was going to make was Shaqiri of Stoke was pinging balls left, right and centre into our box, and we were panicking, and Peter Crouch was pretty much winning most of the headers, even on top of Ginge and Ogbonna, who I think didn't have the greatest of games today. But I mean, Shaqiri's the sort of player that I would love to have at West Ham. What would you say, Rich?
Yeah, I'd have him at West Ham. But personally, at this point in time, I want to see Arnautovic be better than Shaqiri week in, week out. And I honestly believe he has the ability to be better than Shaqiri. He's stronger. He's got as much pace. Okay, I think Shaqiri might be a bit faster. But Arnautovic has got pace. He's got presence. When he's at it, he is really, really at it. And he gives 110% every week. So I don't want Shaqiri. I want Arnautovic, and I want him to keep performing like he has been, because he's been excellent the last few games.
Absolutely. Again, some other comments people are saying here, don't worry, we will sort out the mic. We will sort it out. We were screaming at the team, thought we'd concede and then fold like the old days. But I tell you what, we have to give David Moyes credit. We really do. Again, not my first choice, but as we all said at the end of the day, we're going to back him right to the end of the season, and hopefully that's it. But we've got to give him credit, because that's another clean sheet, bitch. Like, since we've played Manchester City, we have conceded 2 goals, and now we've scored 5, and we've got 3 clean sheets. We've got 7 points.
Yeah.
Since the Man City game, like, we probably didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's a fantastic turnaround. We knew what Moyes was going to bring, and that's defensive stability and structure, and players in the midfield really working hard for each other, especially, you know, in the middle of the park, the likes of Nobes and Obiang, who I honestly didn't feel as though Obiang had his best game today. Just to quickly shout out, I just felt like he got caught in possession a few times, and Stoke could have nicked one on the counter. And I was a bit annoyed when we went 1-0 up, because we sat back for a period of about 20 minutes where we sat back, and I was just going, please West Ham, do not do this to me again. Do not sit back and concede, because that Stoke team was there for the taking today. And thank goodness we peppered them and done the business. So credit to David Moyes, because as you've mentioned, he wasn't everyone's first choice, but he has done a job the last couple of games, and may that continue.
Yeah. Got a Rob Kenny on saying that we need to be a little bit more turning deep defence into midfield possession, but I agree with you, Rob, and what I did notice was against Arsenal that we had that connection between the defence and the midfield, which I think slightly disappeared today, because I think potentially we turned up thinking, yeah, we're going to win this game. Right enough, we did win this game, but it wasn't potentially starting off as easy as we thought. There was definitely chances with Shaqiri and Crouch, who I thought Shaqiri was causing problems. But yeah, Arnie started his confidence, then he started to get a bit of jet, and as you can see from the picture on our review, yep, the crossed hammers that got the fans on the go. Matt Flack's come through with saying the Moyes Sire. that's very premature, but
top stuff, Matt.
Listen, to what? We're going to take it, why not?
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful.
But Arnie, I mean, what an impact he's starting to make on the team. And if you'd have said to me after, I'm trying to remember, the Brighton game or whatever, would you be turning around now and saying what a player this guy is? You wouldn't have been saying it, Rich, would you?
Not at all. And I think Moyes has to take a lot of the credit for Arnie's turnaround, because under Bilic, Arnautovic looked like a completely different player. Didn't want to be there. Wasn't performing well. His attitude and his general body language did not look positive. Did not scream anything positive. But Moyes has come in, and there's been a massive change. Everyone can see it in Arnautovic. And he had a point to prove today against the Stoke fans. And thank goodness he scored, because if he didn't and Stoke had beaten us, it would have been a shit day for everyone. But he's gone and scored, and he's had the last laugh.
Before he scored, he hit the bar. I mean, that was probably his last chance before he actually scored. So then we had Antonio come off, Sacco come on, which, if I'm being honest, I was disappointed about, because I really wanted to see Chicharito have more game time. But at the end of the day, Sacco got a goal, and then what I thought turned the game and started to make me panic a little bit was when Charlie Adam came on, because in actual fact I thought he had a great last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Charlie Adam was genuinely like turned on a bit of a kind of show there and put crosses in like Shaqiri was doing, and Shawcross missed that opportunity. But the 1-2 that Lanzini played with Arnie, and I mean we'll come to Lanzini in a minute, but what a goal! Rich, talk me through it.
Fantastic goal, touch of an angel from Lanzini. Yeah, I mean he's played it in on his onside by a good yard and a half. What a brilliant ball from Lanzini! Deft touch, so skillful, put on a plate, and Arnautovic put it through Butland's legs, which is what you have to do as a poacher. So
and he looked
fantastic.
like he was because after his third or fourth attempt he put his hand up going, what have I got to do to score a goal? And you can see the really kick in, and he celebrated.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
after the hammer's crossed, the fans digging into him, he deserved that. So absolutely great goal. Questions coming through saying, do we think Lanzini will get a ban for the dive? I mean, for me personally, no, I don't see it, because I think he was. I need to re-see it. I need to look over it again, but it was slightly clipped. Yeah, he probably made a meal of it, but let's go on to Lanzini. Rich, what was your thoughts? 3 assists today. 3 assists.
I thought he was fantastic today, and people have been criticising him, and it's been justified because I don't think he's been at it the last couple of weeks. But today he really stepped up to the plate, got 3 fantastic assists. What a ball for Arnautovic, as we mentioned. And if we can get that Lanzini playing like that week in, week out, then there's no reason why we can't go straight up the league into the top 10.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought he was brilliant today. Fantastic, skillful, didn't rush play, went past players easily, won fouls in good areas. Yeah, so I thought he was excellent.
And for the first time in a long time as a West Ham fan, when we're on the counter attack, I've noticed 3 or 4 West Ham players running forward with passion and determination to get the ball, and that's something that we have been missing maybe 5 or 6 games ago. When the ball was cleared up top, it would maybe be Carroll on his own knocking the ball on for no one, but this time it was like whoever was up top, whether it was Antonio who was holding the ball, he was bringing other players in, or if we were on the counter attack, there was like 2 or 3 going forward. And then it came to, I suppose you could say, last but not least, I mean, Lanzini made that last goal for Sacco for me. I mean, the definite that pass, that absolute beautiful pass through to Sacco. Sacco just put it in the bottom right hand corner. What's that going to do for Sacco's confidence?
It has to give him a big boost. I mean, I say feed the sack and he will score. You know, he's that type of player. What a fantastic finish. I mean, that finish was not an easy finish. He made it look so simple. Butland couldn't do anything about it. And when Sacco's in form, he is a different player. I think I personally, the only change I would have had today was I would have started Sacco, because I'm not sure Hernandez is 100% fit at this point in time. I would have gone Sacco up top because Antonio struggles up top. He's not that type of player. So I would have probably gone with Sacco, but when Hernandez is fit, he has to play, because Hernandez today, he would have buried those chances we had. We would have been winning this game 6-0, not 3-0, if Hernandez played.
And I mean, and on that, Rich, he came on, he was on for what, 12 minutes? And how many chances did he actually have? He had a couple, to be fair.
Yeah.
And then he set up that chance for Sacco. What was Sacco doing? I think Sacco thought, that ball's never coming to me. There's no way Chicharito, from 8 yards out, can feed the most perfectly timed, beautifully weighted ball over 2 really tall defenders that will land at my feet. And that's exactly what the little P did. And Sacco looked like he panicked, and then he tried to backheel it at the back post. It's exactly. I don't think there's any other way to explain it.
I mean, yeah, if he scores that, he looks like an absolute genius. But I think, he wasn't expecting it. Hernandez put in a brilliant ball over the top. Vima got caught under the flight of the ball, and Sachs tried to backheel it. The only criticism I might have of Chicha was just earlier, he had beaten the defender, and Lanzini was in the middle. All he had to do was square the ball, and Lanzini had a tap in. But you know what? Hernandez is a poacher. He's that type of player. He's going to try and get a goal for himself. So can't really be too critical of him there. Yeah. But I thought he had a great cameo when he came off the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I mean, we won 3-0. I mean, it could have been a lot more, to be fair. It could have been a big scoring game for both teams, to be honest. Because I'm not going to do Stoke an injustice, because the first half I thought they had some chances. They performed well. They put the balls really, like, put our defence under pressure, and they knew probably to play to our weaknesses, which I felt that they were doing. But all in all, Rich, I mean, what can we say really about the game?
I think we just have to really applaud the players, the manager, because last 3 games we've taken 7 points from the last 9, which is great. So we have to look up from here. We have to be positive, and going into the next games, we just have to carry this momentum. We can't stop now, because once you get on a run in the Premier League, you can really go and do great things. We've got out of the rut that we were in. We've got some great results. We've kept 3 clean sheets, massive positives to take into the next few games, and the confidence will be high. So this is a huge result. I think it could be a massive turning point for us in the season going forward.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. Now, I mean, I'm just trying to work out now, is there really anything else we want to cover for this game? Let's kind of go through the game one more time. We've got Adrian, he's now sitting with 3 clean sheets in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row, yeah.
Massive importance. Looks like he's brought confidence to the team, confidence to the defence in front of him. Cresswell's kicking back in with a bit of form, playing in a new position. Masuaku,
solid as usual, looking classy, looking slick, yeah, looking good.
Ogbonna, yeah, last 2 or 3 games been playing well. Bit suspect today again. I'm just trying. I don't know if that's maybe my personal opinion. Sneaking.
No, I agree. I agree with you. He's that type of player.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ginge, solid. Won some headers. Crouch did beat him in the air a couple of times, to be fair, but I think he did well on his return. Wasn't easy to come into a game like this. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Midfield, Lanzini. Do you know what? He came in for a lot of stick on social media, but how can you give this guy stick? I mean, he's been pretty much holding that midfield together himself, in my opinion, for a long time, since potentially Payet left. So he was allowed a couple of not that great games, and today he's just proven his worth by getting 3 assists, beautiful passes, and creating opportunities for the team. So fantastic. Mark Noble back into the side, performed really well. Came off obviously with an injury. Arnautovic rocket up his arse since Moyes has come in, and he's just. I stated it, and I'll keep stating it. I always thought he was a luxurious player, but if we can play to his strengths, then wow, like yeah. What can you say? So to round off this game, Rich, what would you like to say?
I think we've covered most of it. I think I've gone off on one here. I think we're all just buzzing as West Ham fans, because we're starting to see our side look like we have a game plan every week for a change. You know, towards the end, we all loved Southern Village. We always will, but it was this time because the players didn't look like they knew what they were doing. And now under Moyes, there's more structure. The players have a game plan that they can stick to. We're starting to see the fruits. We're getting some great results. So yeah, onwards and upwards from here. That's what I can say.
Now we move into the Cup on Tuesday evening against Arsenal. There's a lot of talk about Hart potentially getting a chance to be the Cup keeper. But do you know what? We'll leave that for our preview. We're going to do a preview earlier.
Yeah.
Maybe that's tomorrow or Monday. We'll see what we'll do. We'll talk about that. But do you know what, West Ham fans? Turn on Match of the Day later on and enjoy it, because we totally deserve to enjoy this. The West Ham we know are starting to play a little bit better, and it feels good to have a victory. And I tell you what, 3-0 is going to do the world of good for our goal difference, because we certainly need that. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're in form. A couple of big games coming up, so let's keep it going. Richard, all the way from Johannesburg, thanks for coming on. I'm Anton. We are West Ham. We are Irons United. Come on, you Irons! Come on, you Irons!